The restaurant glowed with the soft chatter of lunchtime guests, the clink of silverware, the aroma of fresh bread, and golden sunlight spilling through tall glass windows. For Anna Muller, it was just another long shift at Lamezone, the city's elegant restaurant where the wealthy dined, and the staff blended into the background like shadows. Behind her polite smile hid a storm, a mother in the hospital, a brother waiting for tuition money, and exhaustion that no sleep could fix. Yet Anna carried herself with quiet grace, the kind that comes from surviving too much and still choosing kindness. That afternoon, a group of sharply dressed businessmen filled the room with their loud laughter and expensive confidence. At the center sat Carl Schneider, a billionaire investor whose reputation was as cold as the steel in his gaze. He loved attention, loved control, and especially loved reminding others who had less. Anna approached their table, balancing glasses with steady hands and a tired smile. As she set them down, Carl leaned toward his companions, smirking. In fluent German, he mocked her trembling hands and joked about how poor people always look nervous when pretending to be elegant. The table burst into laughter, cruel, dismissive, cutting. Anna froze. Every word hit her like a blade, because she understood German perfectly. Before life's hardships forced her to drop out, she had studied to become a translator, and in that moment, something deep inside her refused to stay silent. She placed the last glass down gently, turned toward Carl, and in fluent, flawless German, spoke, calm, clear, and unwavering. She told him that respect has nothing to do with money, and that true intelligence is measured by humility, not wealth. She reminded him that the language he used to humiliate others was one she had once studied out of love, not for power, but for connection. The entire restaurant went silent. Carl's smirk vanished. His friend shifted uncomfortably, unsure where to look. Anna didn't raise her voice, didn't seek sympathy. She simply stood tall, her dignity shining brighter than any luxury suit in the room. Then she walked away. For the rest of the meal, Carl barely spoke. His laughter had disappeared, replaced by something he hadn't felt in years: shame. When the check arrived, he quietly asked to see the manager. Anna braced herself, fearing another humiliation, but instead, Carl stood up. His tone was different, softer, human. He apologized, first in German, then in English, to the waitress he had mocked. The room gasped. A billionaire apologizing publicly. He admitted he had forgotten what respect meant. He left behind a large tip, not out of guilt, but gratitude, and walked away without another word. Anna didn't cry. She simply exhaled, feeling lighter than she had in months. Weeks passed, and life returned to its usual rhythm, until one morning, a letter arrived for her. It was from Carl Schneider. In it, he confessed that her courage had shaken him deeply. He revealed that he too had grown up poor, but somewhere along his climb to success, he had buried his humility under pride. Anna's words had reminded him of who he once was and who he wanted to be again. Unclosed in the envelope was a scholarship form and a sponsorship offer. Carl had created a fund in Anna's name to help underprivileged students continue their education. She would be the first recipient. Tears filled Anna's eyes. That single moment of bravery had not only restored her dignity, but reignited humanity in another person's heart. Years later, as she stood on stage at a university event, now a professional translator and a guest speaker, Anna looked out at the audience and smiled. She told them, kindness is not weakness. It's strength wrapped in grace. And sometimes a few honest words can change even the hardest hearts. If this story touched your heart, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to HOA Chronicles, because the world needs more stories that heal, inspire, and remind us that true wealth lies in kindness. And tell us, if you were in Anna's place, would you have stayed silent or spoken your truth? That evening, as the restaurant lights dimmed and Anna wiped down the last table, she felt something new inside her: peace. She was no longer just a waitress. She was living proof that dignity cannot be bought, that words can heal, and that even the smallest act of courage can echo through another person's life forever. And somewhere high above the city, a billionaire sat alone by the window, holding a letter with her name on it. whispering a quiet thank you to the woman who reminded him that wealth means nothing without heart.